So, hello Axelle, hello Dana. Can you tell us what was your life like when you started Housewife?
I was out of jail, and she was doing stuff, weird stuff in Ireland, no?
I was living on a sheep farm in Ireland. There we go.
A sheep?
It was a sheep farm.
Oh yeah, it's true. With ex-people from the IRA.
That was sort of true.
Yeah. And but how come we met in Venezuela? In Peru, sorry. We met in Peru, right?
It was Peru.
Peru.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to ski there. Because I'm coming from like a kind of a bourgeois French family, so I was spending a lot of time skiing. That is true.
Is it?
Switzerland, Peru, Canada.
Yes,
And we met.
We did go skiing once in Canada.
Yeah, we did in Whistler.
No, Gross Mountain.
Oh yeah. So.
And how did you start a Housewife? What was the impulse at the beginning?
Money.
Money.
Money. It was money.
And fame.
And fame?
Yeah, but it was money.
How has that succeeded?
Well, money, because we were paid to do Housewife, believing it or not. We were actually paid. It was a paid job to do Housewife for a club called the Pulp, which was called at the time L'Entracte. And the boss had a vision. Is that true?
Yeah.
Yeah, she had a vision, Michelle, and she thought that she would give artists the freedom to create une image de marque de l'endroit qui s'appelait donc le Pulp. And she gave us a lot of money to do it, right?
6,000 francs a month.
6,000 francs a month, which is a lot.
Plus
Francs, huh?
Free office.
Yeah.
Free champagne.
And free cocaine. And that's true. And so we bought a computer, huge computer. It looks like a refrigerator.
Like the first computer ever made.
Yeah.
With a color screen.
And we
What was
only
the name?
played
Gateway.
Gateway?
Yeah.
Gateway.
It might have been Gateway 2000.
Gateway 2000, yeah.
But it was Gateway for sure because it had a cow, black and white. Remember the packaging was black and white cow print.
Yeah, it's true. You have a good memory.
I do.
So that was 97.
96, no, 97 probably. 97, 96.
97.
Well, we met in 95, right?
Yeah.
When we were skiing in Peru.
Yes. Does Peru have mountains?
Yeah, of course. The Machu Picchu.
Okay. It's not called that anymore, by the way.
Okay, it's another subject.
And right after the first issue, maybe I think, L'Entracte became Le Pulp.
Yeah. First issue or second issue?
I don't know. We'd be able to.
Oh yeah, let's see. Je me rappelle même des couvertures, mais je crois pas qu'elle est là. Ah si, second. That's the second. Le magazine du quoi? Cover rules, Pulp. Yeah.
Pulp.
Yeah, Pulp.
So I think only the first issue is from L'Entracte because I remember seeing it.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. No, si tu veux.
So it would have been Laurent. Wouldn't it have been Laurent that started Pulp? I mean, the magazine.
Laurence and Mimi.
Wait, yeah.
Yep.
Laurence. What?
And what was the question?
So what can we find in it? What created this content? What kind of energy?
What created the content? I don't know. What do you think?
What the content?
Yeah.
Oh Jesus! The content was like. C'est difficile à raconter ça. Nos séances de brainstorming.
Yeah.
Hein, tu vois, c'est des séances de brainstorming. There was a lot of séances of different things.
Invoking spirits.
Invoking spirits.
We also tried to run everything through a lesbian filter, any situation, like East Coast, West Coast rap.
But I remember you said just before starting this interview that you didn't want to discuss about certain subject.
But that's what they asked us to do. I mean, if they asked me to talk about poodles, I would have made a poodle.
Yeah, exactly. And Teckels about Teckels.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you were a sort of mercenary in this situation.
It was like an anthropological, as that would be. It was, studying the zoo.
Yeah, exactly. It's true. We were studying lesbians, totally.
And the crowd of Le Pulp.
Yeah. And I continued afterwards in Tétu with my chronique. I studied lesbian for 10 years, and they hated me for that. It's true, huh? They didn't really like me.
So what was like a regular night at Le Pulp, or an extraordinary one?
I will...
a regular night at Le Pulp, Le Pulp, ça a duré, it was long, for 10 years, so the first part of Le Pulp was like basically only lesbians, and the guys were welcomes, but a small amount, and it was like very, very bric-à-brac lesbian spot. The place itself was completely à l'abandon. So, alors c'était vraiment an old theater for old people dancing during on the afternoon. Et, ça va si je parle en français un peu ou c'est que en anglais pour toi?
Sure.
Ça sera plus facile comme ça, tu n'auras pas à transcrire. Donc le Pulp, oui, c'était un endroit de grand boulevard, un vieux dancing pour vieux, et donc c'était un truc complètement un peu à l'abandon, tu vois. Aujourd'hui, il n'y aurait plus jamais de club comme ça, c'était complètement destroy. Et on est arrivé avec dans ce club toute une bande de copines, mais on n'avait pas d'idée vraiment préconçue de... C'est pas les nights sexy là comme on fait aujourd'hui, c'était n'importe quoi. Donc tu avais la soirée tortilla patata, la soirée soupe à l'oignon, la soirée je sais plus quoi, spaghetti courgette, je sais plus comment ça, courgette et je sais pas quoi. Et on passait des disques et les filles se draguaient, et c'était un peu vraiment n'importe quoi. Mais tout ça était évidemment saupoudré de beaucoup de drogue déjà à l'époque. Donc, du coup, ça donnait une effervescence intéressante, on peut dire. C'était très drôle. Voilà.
Mais vous faisiez à manger?
Il arrivait que sur le comptoir, il y a des tortillas. Sur les tortillas patata, il y avait... Michel faisait des tortillas, des tortillas patata.
Sausages. Like, can you imagine going to a bar to pick someone up? And there's like garlic sausage. One thing lesbians love is free shit. So as they're waiting in line for their beer, they would just like eat sausages. I was unbearable.
Well, it was a concept, huh?
And
look, now food is everywhere.
No, it worked, and now there's like 17 million.
Everybody's doing fucking food now.
Yeah, but I mean...
So everybody's like, hey, yeah, I'm doing this little sushi. We were ahead of our time. Only we didn't
Michelle was ahead of her time to put sausage on.
We didn't do sushi, we did sausage. Which makes sense for lesbians.
Yes.
Hello. It's true, no?
It's true.
I'm so smart.
I never saw that. Yeah, it's very deep,
smart.
Actually.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, speaks for itself.
And what was the function of Housewife in all this? It had a very important function, which was to give the dates of certain events happening at the Pulp. But there's a lot more to it.
It was supposed to be an agenda. They didn't want to do. There were so many nights because the Pulp was open. Sometimes it was open like almost like every day during a week. So imagine the amount of flyers we were supposed to do for 1 month. It was crazy. So it was like an agenda. First they wanted to have an agenda, and then we proposed to different topics to make it like a magazine, small magazines. And it's true, no? I think.
The only format that we had to stick by was it had to be that like a postcard size, because that was cheap. We had to have whatever sponsor we had, we had to have a page for them.
Yeah.
We had to have the 2 pages of agenda.
That was the sponsor. It was the time of Minitel, you have to understand.
And we also
So Minitel, for the people who don't know.
we were forced to put a horoscope in, which was just hell for
Horoscope?
at the beginning until we fought.
Really?
Because
I don't remember.
yes, it was that terrible horoscope.
Oh, ma grand-mère. It's true, it's my grandmother.
And there's a great deal of autobiographic or
Yeah, that was my part. I've always been very autobiographic. Yeah.
about traveling,
Yeah,
people
because we were
dating
good
other
friends.
people.
Because we were very close friends, and it's true.
Very
We
close.
spend holidays together. we share flat sometimes. We work together. We had common friends.
And a common interest for cowboys.
And an interest for cowboys and armes à feu. That's me, right? That's me.
Oh,
Yeah.
of course. So still.
That's me. So we actually went. Oh, that was the time we went on holiday together. So that's a little périple.
Oh,
Indian summer
in Canada.
in Canada. Yeah.
And there's one about a trip in Russia.
Yeah. But with another friend, she did that. Not me.
One of the rules of the game is to tell the truth about our relationship.
Mm.
So it was just like if we were in a bad mood, we put it in a magazine, a fanzine. If we were in a good mood, we shared that.
Yeah, like in this one, I think this might be the cover of the ARTZINES dedicated to Housewife because it's just so brilliant, and it's completely empty. And did people actually send you the?
They did, yeah. And we paid the money to the winner.
But you didn't publish what
No, because
the winner
why
made.
didn't we publish it?
She kept all
Oh,
the
we did,
ideas
we
for
did.
art
We
career.
published part of it or something like that. I think they were allowed to have 1 page in it. I can't even remember. But we got paid 6,000 francs to do an empty magazine.
Yeah, but you had to give away
Half of it.
3,000
Yeah, I know.
to the person who win.
And we did.
Who
It
won?
was like so cool for a fanzine to be able to give money away.
And one thing that intrigues me, because in what I do, I usually ask people if they consider what they do a fanzine, and I might not have considered this a zine because it has this professional dimension and because it was commissioned by something. How is it a zine to you?
Do you want to answer that?
Oh,
Axelle?
sorry, I didn't listen.
What makes it a zine?
I was reading, sorry. Sorry. Say it again.
What makes it a zine? Is it because it has this do-it-yourself way of being made, or because it's very personal? Because it has a professional dimension that you don't. I mean, sometimes you see it in zines, but then they become a regular magazine. You see what I mean?
No. Sorry. What makes it a fanzine?
Yes, because it's commissioned.
Of course.
And it's for a client.
It's the beauty of it.
Yes,
It's
yes.
the beauty of it. We did the only fanzine paid. No?
Maybe.
Maybe it was the history of the universe.
It's true. It's true. We were paid for doing this,
Yeah,
so it's our boss was either a visionary or a completely mad person.
But we also had a mécène
Who was the mécène?
from Projet X.
From Projects. Projects, the mécène in the sense that they were printing for free, right? They were printing. They
he
were
was
giving
paying
us.
He was
He was paying us too.
Yeah, he was.
You
paying
kept the money, I think.
No,
I never saw the money
no,
of
I saw
projects.
it.
I fucking never saw the money of projects. Sorry, but no.
I used to have to go pick up the money,
That's why you kept it.
and I gave you half.
Right. Money is always a problem between me and Dana.
Would you call it a fanzine back in the days?
I didn't even know what a fanzine was.
No, come on.
No, I really I didn't. I'd seen one.
A fanzine.
Honestly, like this guy that used to stutter. He made it. He made, I think
Did
it was called
we
Stutter.
call it? Just because we it's the magazine, huh? It's the magazine. It's written on it. It's the magazine of the pulp, huh? So I don't think we were calling it fanzine. The fanzine
No,
du pulp.
I don't.
I
think
don't
that
know.
came after when people sort of said
Le
what it
magazine du pulp. Le magazine.
You started
du
calling
pulp.
it a fanzine because people would see it as a fanzine.
I guess
I've never
so.
ever talked about it.
Because we were like,
except with you.
yeah, because
I've
it's
never gone
magazine.
like, hey, I made a fanzine.
Yeah, and we were true because we were paid. We called that a magazine. No,
Well, I didn't even know. I honestly didn't know what a fanzine was. Like, I didn't know that was a thing.
really?
No, honestly, yeah, because I wasn't cool.
But yet there are some aspects that are really, really close to, you know, the usual punk DIY fanzine, all these things that are handwritten, even if you made it on a computer, it sometimes looks like it's copy and pasted.
Yeah, but parce qu'on
like
le faisait,
like in this
no,
one,
but
for example.
there was not a conception of, it's because I didn't know how to use a computer.
We'd never used one before.
But you were a little bit better than me. But no, we were I was doing this because, first of all, I'm super bad at typing. So we hired slave, actually. I was writing all my article by hand. And then I was hiring like a girl we picked up in a club. Either we had sex, I had sex with her, either we paid her little money, right?
Your memories are always interesting.
and she was typing. No, there was like a girl that was in love with me, and she would do anything for me.
Really?
So she was typing for me at the office. But that's when we started, because at some point we couldn't get along. So we were doing separate issues. She was doing one, I was doing one. Not for a long time, but because after that I stopped. But at some point there was this girl who was correcting my spelling because I'm super bad. And also I don't know how to type. I mean, I didn't know at the time, now I know. But I didn't know at the time. So there was those little hands, we call them, the little hands of Housewife, who were doing things for us. And when I didn't find anybody, I had to do it myself. So I was taking it my old typewriter, or I was doing like more of like this style, like avec de la colle, des crayons, des photocopies. Alors that makes it look like fanzine, but still.
Also, we were working on Corel Photo Paint.
Exactly.
We didn't have a publishing program.
So
So
that's my grandmother.
We had to type the text in as, I don't even, like I still work with Corel Photo Paint, but you have to type the text in as an object or something like that. If you made one mistake, it would all just vaporize. So we'd lose the fanzine like 15 times before so we'd be like, kicking walls, drunk. And then we'd have to, because we had a deadline, because we were being paid, we had to actually get it done.
But also because it was very inspiring, because Dana Wyse is also a very wonderful journal creative person. So all her journals, diaries, looks like that. So we were very inspired by this, your style.
Were you reading my diary?
No, but sometimes you were showing me.
I was never showing you.
Yeah, you were showing me. Sometimes I was banging on the door and you would be like, don't again. She kicked me out of the house, of my own house, to be able to write, with space and quietness. And she spent her days writing her diaries. Only years after I discovered the truth, but for sometimes I believe she needed space and time, quiet time to write her diaries. So the diaries looks like that.
Became.
It's beautiful.
Ended up in Housewife.
It's beautiful.
It feels like it.
It's a topic I want to talk about to her when you're gone. Actually.
You might have to deal with the diaries when.
Yeah. But so this, yeah. So I guess it looks like a fanzine.
So
it's called a fanzine nowadays, I guess. I'm sure there's also there's fans and people that paid for.
So, sometimes, yeah, it happens, and.
Well, this is the best cover. This is the best idea of Dana Wyse during all those years, is to do a hair cover. To these days, that's my favorite cover. That's my.
I didn't know what it was.
Yeah. You said we're gonna put hair. I mean, we're gonna do a picture of hair for cover. It is so sellable. C'est vraiment l'idée la plus vendeuse qu'on ait jamais eue pour une cover. No?
I don't know.
And in the commercials we can find what later on became the pills of Dana Wyse.
Famous product of cheese. Jesus had a sister.
So this was like a laboratory. The pills were created at the same time
It was all
as
happening at
those.
the same time, yeah.
And yeah, and so they started as commercials for the pills, and
just
vice
like-
versa.
We were allowed to mail. We had even the stamps were paid for in the envelopes. So we were allowed. Our print was 2,000 copies. So you had an instant audience of 2,000 people. So it was like perfect opportunity to do self-promotion, but it made the object, like the publication, whatever that fucking thing is called, it made it more interesting because it was about our real lives, what Axelle and I were living, what I was doing professionally.
And the idea of the pills actually came from an idea we had for a party, of housewife party, and we had to do the invitation, the flyer, and we decided, because I used to have a little addiction, so I always had a lot of pills at my house, a lot of gélules, and I had this idea of doing a micro flyer to put inside the gélule.
It was a great flyer. That was a great flyer.
Yeah, and so to have to go in clubs and give a gélule, to people, and the flyer is inside. And Dana found and turned it into the idea of doing pills at the time. And you start to work on the idea of the pills, the gélule, the whatever, and you started to do the little package at approximately at this time.
I started doing little packages when you had your antique store.
And it was the same time.
Yeah.
And
She was running a vintage store, and I could test my
ideas. And you
ideas.
did a heart. That was the first one.
I did a heart, but I also remember when I was making miniature Eiffel Towers.
And Elvis hair.
I did Elvis hair, Andy Warhol hair.
Yeah.
And because she had a cool shop, I could test out the products on your public.
Yeah, exactly.
What would you sell?
But the gélule, I remember, it was for a party.
That was a great
That was
idea.
the little flyer, mini flyers called Housewife Invites You, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
For the party, because we didn't do a lot of housewife party. We did only maybe 4. But that was the first one. And I remember going to the Rex Club, feeling so cool because I had my pocket full of pills and giving pills. But the thing is, with the heat, the gélule was melting down because I was a good dancer.
Fragile.
I was a good dancer, so I was dancing a lot.
You were.
Yeah, I was it was all for the dance, So the more I danced, the more gélule was glued into my pocket, and at the end it was not such a great idea. But the pill appeared. The project of the pills appeared with this idea. It was marvelous. But
your first shows are advertised.
It's
in
to
Housewife.
tell you how much our life was completely, everything in your life. At this time, everything was an excuse for creation, for creativity, and everything. And Housewife was our lab, basically. So we were waking up in the morning and we were just starting to have ideas and work and travel and meet people, and everything we collect became something creative.
And another thing that was nice is because of our lives on the side, when I had a show in Moscow or in Russia, I could do Housewife there. When you were in Hong Kong, you could do it.
Yeah, I was hired by a couple to have sex in Hong Kong. So it's true. So I was standing there and suddenly I freak out. So finally, It's true. So finally, I did this wonderful experience with lesbians there. It's true. Because they didn't took me to this island to have sex with them, I was staying in Hong Kong all by myself, and I met a girl in the street. It's very dangerous to do cruising in Hong Kong. And the girl happened to be a lesbian, and she took me to a club on the top of a building where there was like all those butch, like Chinese butch, like co-star and everything. And girly lesbians. And it gave us it gives me the opportunity to do a reportage in Housewife. Mm-hmm. Every situation was basically c'était ça, une opportunité to fill the page.
There's a lot about the two of you in Housewife, and who else was part of this crowd? Who did you talk about?
Lovers. Oh, sorry. You have to erase that. Friends. No, friends.
We had friends. No, we made fun of DJ.
We had friends,
DJ
and also people starting to approach us to be part of it, but also to work with us. So we discovered the talent of Tiffen Kazitami, who was a super good writer, who wrote.
I would never say that I discovered Tiffen, but that's how Axelle talked.
Of course. We discovered Tiffen.
Okay, that's how you want the narrative to go.
Yeah, Tiffen is super good.
Well, I'm not saying that she's not.
Well, anyway, she never wrote before.
Right.
She wrote in Housewife.
Yeah, because some of the people at the Pulp were like 16 and 17 years old.
We discovered Sylvie Bardet.
And
and who else?
Virginie Despentes.
Virginie Despentes. We did discover Virginie Despentes, but she came to us.
We're making this all up. No, we asked Virginie and Anne Scott.
Anne Scott, she wrote in...
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
Or we made fun of Anne Scott. Her tattoo. I don't think I might have written.
She wrote something?
Well,
no, it's impossible.
Well,
I hated her.
We did her tattoos.
Oh yeah, we did her tattoos, it's right.
But anyway, there was like a whole bunch of, there was a cast for Housewife, and there were so many talented people around us.
Et Virginie Despentes, she wrote what? I don't know.
I can't remember.
I have one here. Here.
Ah oui.
La foi selon la dépente.
Philippe Jouani. Who else? Isabelle Tezzi. Joe wrote. Anna wrote.
Mm-hmm. Hannah wrote.
Can you explain this page?
Ah, that's the famous page. The famous page on Odorama. Ah, that was great, huh?
So
I have pictures of you at Sophie Anquet's doing all you have like all the covers, all the magazines, because we're doing everything by ourselves, right? So when Dana had some brilliant ideas like this,
which you need to explain.
Yeah, that you need to explain.
I'm not talking about that.
So you just scratched the surface?
Yeah, we had to put like a...
In order to release the smell.
We had to put a paste on top of the pussy. And when you scratch, it's on the odorama, you had a smell. Did you pick up the smell?
I did. I ordered it from the States.
But the smell was what?
There
Fish?
was gasoline, cedar, or leather.
Yeah, leather was cool.
Yeah.
But we had to do the 2,000 copy.
And garlic.
By ourselves, right?
Because of that fucking sausage at the
One time on a mis quoi, de la fausse cocaïne.
Yeah.
Une fois on a mis du papier toilette. Donc il faut faire tout à la main, c'est compliqué.
2,000 times.
2,000 times.
2,000 vaginas, 2,000 pieces of toilet paper.
Yeah, 2,000 fake cocaine.
Yeah.
2,000 pussies. And I have pictures of you working on the pussies, like on the floor with your little pinceau. They're great pictures. I have them here if you want to look at it.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's great.
Is there something about Housewife we haven't talked about yet?
I don't know.
The lawsuit.
Yeah, the lawsuit. Yeah, exactly. Tell me about the lawsuit.
I'm not telling everything because I'm sure I signed some paper. But I got charged. I don't know. I got charged to get charged with like incitation of pedophilia.
But from who? From who? From this girl who came at the pulp?
No, from a girl, and that's as far as we'll go because wouldn't want to talk about that. But the police came and got me in Canada over a fanzine because they thought by the time it got translated from French over the telephone, over fax, over to a different country, they thought I was a pedophile. And in fact, it was just because I'd made an ad saying have a lesbian daughter guaranteed. And the girl in the image sued me. And one of our defenses in court, I had to go to a French court, criminal court. One of our defenses was, who would want to have a lesbian daughter? So obviously it's a fake ad. But that was one of the things. And when they were trying to defend me, when my lawyer was trying to defend me as that it was part of my artistic project, to show how much I thought about life and stuff like that, they started holding up pills, but one of them had a swastika on the back. So my lawyer was holding it up, and then like it was just like a disaster. But we won the court case.
Oh, you won?
Oh, you won?
We won, yeah.
But yet you say that you signed something.
Well, I just wouldn't, I mean, it traumatized the girl. I mean, it was an awful situation, so I wouldn't want to say anything more about it, but we had to tear the back page off the Housewife, 2,000 times.
Also, I'm looking for it in these copies, I won't find it. Oh,
No.
yeah. Can I?
You can't show that, no.
No. So
But
I have it in my
Or
hand.
if you could,
If I
if you could hide it even better,
like this.
as long as they show me, because I don't want to have any problems. Yep, even like that.
So that's the girl here who sued you.
Yeah.
Let me see.
So the fanzine became this.
But the thing is that how did she discover this fake pub? She came to the pub or what?
She was from Paris, and because
She's from Paris.
by the coincidence of coincidences, she was from Paris, and
Because they're Americans, right?
well, I bought the image in Canada,
Exactly.
and so it was just like a crazy for our paths to meet like that was really awful for her, but weird. But that was almost the end of that must have been almost the end of the magazine too, because it was when you start getting litigation for a fanzine, it's dangerous, and it was really expensive.
Yeah, I was not in it anymore.
Yeah.
And your career as an artist was booming at the moment with the pills and stuff, so you were getting a lot of attention. So maybe it wasn't worth all the pain of this kind of situation when you could do what you liked through the pills.
Which it was the same problem. Like, I mean, then you still get the lawsuits on the pills too,
Okay.
but, or you get the letters, or it's all part of it. Is there anything else you'd like to know?
I'm not sure. That's why I was asking you if
So tu vois, c'est 1999.
Okay.
Ça, si c'est dans les derniers, c'est
Yeah, I think there's a couple of issues in 2000, and that's the end.
And that's it, yeah.
And yeah, I have one last question: is how do you feel? What do you think about the attention that that Housewife, both Housewife and Le Pulp, are getting at the moment? And
I'll let Axelle answer that.
Why? Why? Because it's for me it's the Pulp is probably one of the last night experience that were free. There was kind of a the pre-internet era, everything was kind of do it yourself, and it was because it didn't have an agenda of becoming like the best place of Paris or whatever. It happens. It was there was no how can I say in English? There was no plan. Et c'était une nuit où tu pouvais, voilà, tout pouvait s'essayer. C'était pas, on s'en foutait de la rentabilité en fait. Il y avait pas cette pression du rentable. Il y avait pas cette pression du branché. De toute façon, on l'était. Parce que c'était bouillonnant de culture et de créativité. Et donc aujourd'hui, il y a un intérêt pour ça parce que tout est formaté. La nuit est formatée. La nuit, se doit d'être une réussite à chaque fois. Ça doit être tout de suite vendeur sur Instagram. Tu dois être à l'endroit où il faut. Donc le Pulp, c'était un endroit, parfois tu y étais, tu disais mais mon Dieu, c'était horrible. Tu te retrouvais à échouer là à 3h du matin, tu avais l'impression vraiment d'être coincé dans un espace-temps atroce avec trois filles moches qui s'embrassaient sur une musique ignoble. Non mais tu vois, avec du mauvais alcool et des gens bourrés. Et à 2h du matin, il y avait un mec qui arrivait à poil avec une tronçonneuse et qui faisait une performance et arrivait, je sais pas moi, Nan Goldin et sa clique qui venaient finir la nuit. Donc il y avait ce côté encore de ce qui a porté la nuit new-yorkaise pendant des années, la nuit underground, on va dire, que ce soit New York ou San Francisco ou je ne sais où, Londres ou whatever, mais de toute façon, ce côté underground a su, malgré le succès, rester jusqu'à la fin. Et ça, c'était intéressant, et je pense que Housewife a marqué son époque, puisque les gens assimilent Housewife au Pulp, et cette liberté de penser, cette liberté de faire une page complètement brouillon, illisible, et qu'on ait réussi à tenir ça 2 ans ou 3 ans, je ne sais pas combien ça a duré, de la même manière que le Pulp a duré jusqu'à la fin. J'ai des archives du Pulp, parce que je suis en train de faire ce livre, des archives du Pulp sur la fermeture du Pulp, qui a donc duré... la soirée de fermeture du Pulp a duré 1 mois, déjà. Et ça va de mal en pis, hein. Pendant ce mois, ça devient, la fin est un chaos phénoménal.
C'est en quelle année ça?
Et c'est très drôle, en 97, en 97.
97, what fucking planet do you come from?
Belgium. 97 is Belgium.
97.
I live in Belgium, you remember?
Okay.
So I speak Belgian.
97.
97. What the
so
fuck? You're gonna fucking leave me alone, you fucking bitch. Et donc voilà. J'ai répondu à ta question.
Ouais. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. This magnifique cover decided by Dana Wyse also.
That's not me.
Oh yes, that's so you. You